Hi, it's Lori Rodehaver here. I'm in Fayette County, and I have a guest with me today. Her name is Brandie VanDuesen, and since it is National Women's History Month, I thought it would be fun to dig into my own little history. And I've known Brandie like forever, since when? Probably since we were like 12 or 15 or something. I don't know how long exactly, but being that my passion is very local, very localized, and community-minded, and I believe in the power of smallness. You can do big things if you're just willing to be small enough, and be concerned about details, not overlook them, but build from them. I just thought that we could take some time and just kind of do a little mini interview with Brandie, because she's doing some big things in our small community in Fayette County. So I just wanted to have her come and just answer a few quick questions and see what she's doing. So let's just pick your brain for a couple minutes, Brandie. So just tell us a little bit about your efforts lately here in Fayette County. And I understand you have an Instagram page called Fayette Outreach, and now a Facebook page now too. Fayette Outreach, everyone.
Yes, it all started, when I was scrolling through Facebook and Instagram one day, and our generation is really judgmental, and they're hard on themselves, and it's negative input, negative feeds, and I just was tired of seeing it, because I've seen how it impacts our community on social media, and I also have children that are on social media, and I'm tired of them seeing it. So I thought, well, I'm going to post something positive every day. And I started getting more hits. And I thought, this is going to lead to something bigger, and I want it to lead to something bigger. So I had to individualize the accounts, and now it's underneath Fayette_Outreach on Instagram, also on Facebook. And we're still doing the positive posts to keep people, upbeat. And it's more like of an awareness to, like, if you're having a bad day, you can always do something for someone else, and that helps them, and it helps you too. So we're doing that, and also have begun outreaching to the community, because we recently had terrible weather here in our area. We had a tornado in February, and we've had a lot of the community homeless now, and they need a lot of help with cleanup and a lot of donations, and just all hands on deck for help and support. So I jumped right in. Luckily, I have a team of my own, because I have 3 kids, a husband, and I just recently took in my 16-year-old sister. So I have a big crew from the gate. I didn't even need to recruit anyone. So we started jumping in with cleanup with the tornado victims and donations, and just providing love and support to all of them in their time of need. And as I was doing that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to raise even more awareness and do live videos. So as I posted those, I would get private messages, hey, how can I help? I don't have time, I work all the time, but I have money. Or I don't have money, but I have the time. So it was raising the awareness of how you can help, and if you only had a half an hour to spare, you volunteered that half an hour, and we met, became friends, and now the outreach is growing. But as the outreach grows, I keep trying to remind everyone there is no membership. It's not a company. It's not even an official nonprofit, because it was just a mom with an idea. I lived in my community for a really long time, 31 years. Not 31. But, and I know I've seen it firsthand, the help that we need. And I thought this would be an opportunity, now that I'm going to be an adult myself and my own little family, to really take part in the action here at Fayette County.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so basically just started from seeing negativity and not wanting to be part of that, but to be positive. And so that's awesome. So number 2, we kind of already answered. Like, who or what inspired you to kind of create this? So I guess you kind of inspired yourself by just not wanting the negativity in your life.
And that's right. And you know what? I'll tell touch on true inspiration comes from experience. I was abandoned by my biological father. I don't even know who he is. And my biological mother has always been in and out of the picture, and she has a mental condition. She's not able to officially take care of children, family, or even herself sometimes. So I was lucky enough to be raised by my grandparents, and they were wonderful. They gave me a great life, but at times in and out of my childhood, she would try to pop in and make things right, and it was never the right time. It never worked out. It was very negative. I've seen how she is just totally not aware of her surroundings, and a child couldn't be in that environment. So growing up knowing there are people out there like that, I want to raise awareness as we keep moving forward, because as I see the people that are in need, they know someone that has a disability. They have a disability themselves. Or maybe they're just a single parent that got off on the wrong foot and they just cannot get ahead. I also fell into that category 13 years ago. I had my first child at 18 and I had a lot of struggles. So many, in fact, that as I kept trying to push forward and I would have to take 10 steps back, it was awful. But as I was going on through my life, I wanted to help others. I eventually got myself out of this situation, but I know where these people are firsthand because I've lived it. And I'm ready to jump on deck and help anyone that needs it at any time, whether you have a problem, with your disability or your income level, or if it has anything to do with being victimized in any way. Fayette Outreach is here to support you.
Well, that's good. We need that. And so you said you were getting some positive feedback, some positive responses thus far. People are messaging you and different things like that. Anything else in particular as far as people responding to this? People are jumping in, helping?
Yeah, you know what? A lot of the efforts have been put in randomly by people. They've kind of recruited themselves. It's awesome. And they are now Fayette Outreach. Everyone that volunteers or pays for someone's coffee or, help someone that's elderly get their groceries in their car. Or if you know that single mom that lives down the street, if you, picked up a few extra boxes of cereal and milk and left it at her door, you are Fayette Outreach. If you live in Fayette County and you help someone and you're spreading awareness about kindness, then you are Fayette Outreach. And I'm glad to be the one to stand here and say we've gotten it off the ground with the idea, but actually all of you are a part of it.
That's good. And so all they have to do is like the page now, and they can be informed about all of the things that are happening.
Is like the page, follow it, and you can also follow it on Instagram. Mainly on Facebook is where all the updates are going to be. If we need extra volunteers on the streets, if we need extra volunteers to advocate, all the updates will be on there. Also, we are sharing events that are happening in our hometown with updates, with things that are going on. So follow the page and you'll be informed. If you have any questions, you can private message me.
Yeah, and so I know my personal experience, just seeing her do all of these things has really been inspiring. And so that's why I kind of wanted to feature Brandie and just let her talk about what's going on with this, because I just think it's awesome. And I hope that it's like a domino effect throughout the whole county, throughout even further, so, but definitely for our county, for Fayette County, because we are in need. A lot of times we find a lot of people here that are in need. The other day she had posted a veteran standing begging for money and food, and just her making people aware this man is here, come give if you can. Like, I think that's awesome. Something so simple.
About the man, it's easy to give him a donation. We bought him lunch, me and my husband, but the main thing was he'd still come back next week. He'd still be in that same situation. Fayette Outreach doesn't have any money, so you cannot donate. I don't handle with any of that. You guys can do your own part with the donations monetary-wise, but what we can do is raise awareness. I directed him about who to contact for veterans. This is our assistance office. This is the address. Do you need a ride? So that's a way that everyone is able to be a part of Fayette Outreach.
Yeah, and it's good to be in the know. And so even just Brandie having this information for everyone available, just ready and on hand, if you would need a service or, a community help in some way, you can contact her page and she'll find out for you if she doesn't know or give you that information.
Right.
So that's very helpful information to have if you don't know who to call, maybe, or how to get help. So if you would like to, do you have any special stories of people helping, or even just your family jumping in and helping that you can think of off the top of your head?
Actually, as I mentioned, I have 3 kids. I think the best thing to do is to raise that next generation up with the know of people that are in despair, people that are in need, and not just see it on TV or on the iPad and YouTube. Yeah. It's real. It's right in our community. They go to your school. So when I decided to get my kids on board, I was almost weary of the idea because they are so young, 13, 8, and 4. But as I've taken them out into the field and they've seen bad neighborhoods, they've seen the victims of different types of abuse, and they've seen the tornado victims right now. They don't have roofs on their houses. They barely have any power coming in, but they still live there. They've seen firsthand now, and you know what? I don't blame myself for that. I am going to say that raised their compassion level a little more, and maybe they'll pass it along to their children as well. So that is the best story out of Fayette Outreach so far.
And that's awesome. I know, I can't remember who it was, but a nun from years past, she would say, always bring the children. Always bring the children with you doing good deeds. If you're doing something good, don't get a babysitter. Don't leave them at home. Bring them with you. Whether it be elderly, the elderly people love to see children. If they can't get out or whatever is going on, try to bring your kids to help out so they see the less fortunate. Unfortunately, Brandie and I both understand what it was like growing up kind of in a difficult environment, and a lot of children in Fayette County have the same environment, and so we know firsthand how that is, but our children kind of live in the shade, so to speak, because, they have families and homes that are providing for them in, ways that other children don't have, but we know firsthand, so it's good for our children to understand that there are people that are a lot less fortunate that do need help, and that you can help them. Just, no matter how old you are, you can help them just by smiling, just by extending your hand, extending a hug, something. So that's what Brandie is all about here. And if you would like, just tell us a little bit about your backstory, which you kind of already have, but if you want to add anything to that, just your backstory.
I feel that, for years, we'll put it this way, I had, really lived in this secret depression that I hated my past and my childhood and the way I was raised, and why couldn't I have a normal life and a normal childhood? But now that I'm adult and I have a family of my own, I've realized to love my past. I have lived from it. I've learned lessons from it. I know it was my best encouragement. So sometimes you really got to take your past and own it. You don't have to forget about it, but move on from it and keep trying to achieve more for yourself, and then you can help others.
Right. So just allowing it to push you harder to be better. And I think that's definitely true because it just seems like you've overcome so much and come out shining on the other side. That's awesome. I think we could all aspire to that, no matter what kind of trial we have to go through. And you already told us a little bit about your family and how they're helping out. Your husband also helps out. He does a lot, I see on Facebook, with your pictures and with the tornado, especially cleanup and everything. That's awesome. So ultimately, what do you have any bigger goals that you're thinking, short-term and long-term goals for the Fayette Outreach? program. Like, what would you like to see eventually happen in Fayette County?
For short-term goals, I'd like this to continue to grow. So please go like and share the pages and comment, ask me questions. I don't care. If you have something personal, the private messaging is open, and I won't disclose any names if you don't want me to. That's fine. But ultimately, we live in the third poorest county in Pennsylvania, and we need the help. And sometimes the government and state elected officials, they know of the problem, but they're not willing to help financially. They can give us so many supports that they can, but that doesn't mean that someone truly cares and they want to be your friend. Sometimes they feel like they're just an agency.
Right.
So I want to take that another step forward and provide myself and then other volunteers that recruited themselves to Fayette Outreach to extend themselves privately as more of a friend and an advocate to be there for you when you feel like the going gets tough here, and it is hard in this area. So let's keep pressing on and keep making awareness for kindness and love for one another, starting in our hometown of Fayette County first, and then we can continue to move on outwardly, which would be a long-term goal to continue to grow this all over, maybe even create an app for it. Hey, there's volunteers needed here. Can you sign up, flag yourself in the app, and say I'm going to go down there with a big team, and it's covered, and then the next person can cover you. Kind of like a pay it forward. I think that's the very best. And I also was made aware by working with different agencies that we are on extremely low food supply. We barely have anything in our food banks, and our Salvation Army provides what they can. But there is a new company that's called Food Rescue, and the director for Pittsburgh, he's a friend of mine, and he started his own, and he is doing great. It's actually an app, like we were saying. It's kind of an updated way to say, I have time to volunteer, I have 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So what happens is, grocery stores or restaurants at the end of the day or at the end of the shift, if they have extra bread or if they have anything that's left over, they're able to donate. The Good Samaritan law does protect them, so if something would ever happen, it doesn't come back on the restaurant or the grocer. At that time, one of the volunteers gets flagged on the app. You get a notification, and the volunteer says, I will go drive to that restaurant and pick up the donation and drive it to anywhere. It could be the food bank, it could be a homeless shelter, it could be a church or a college, it can just go on and on. So you will see that coming to Fayette County. It's going to start in Uniontown. It's in the making, something I got behind closed doors. So watch out for Food Rescue.
That's awesome, because I can remember countless times when I was hungry as a child, especially as a child. So hopefully the children will have access to that as well. So, how do you have any other plans, or you're just kind of waiting to see how this goes and see where it takes off to?
No matter what happens with this, even if it completely flops and everyone says I'm crazy and nobody wants to volunteer, I'm still gonna do this to the day I die, because I believe that if you help someone or if you just give them a hug, if you can make somebody feel special, even for a slight moment, it's going to change their life forever, and it's going to change yours as well. So I will continue to do this no matter what, and I hope you guys will get on board.
That's awesome. And I hesitate to bring it up, but it sounds like what the church should be doing in every community, not just in Fayette County. But I know that the church does do outreach and things like that. But sometimes, the church will fall short, and I just feel like you're filling in the gap. I know when I've gone around and just prayed with people outside, like whether they be just working or whatever, and just offered prayer, like almost everyone says, yes, I need prayer, and allows me to pray with them. So, just making a connection with people, whether you just are greeting them and asking if they need anything or seeing them in need, all of that kind of goes together. And I just just feel like this Fayette Outreach program, I don't know if it's a program or what to call it, but like this movement, I guess, is more of a movement. It just seems to me like it's filling in the gap, you know, because the church sometimes even doesn't know what to do or, you know, how to do these things or how to connect with community services. And I don't know, but I just see it as a bridge.
You know what, and I agree. I am a Christian and so is my family, so that's definitely helpful because we have someone supernaturally behind us as well. Maybe that's how I keep getting the motivation every morning to keep going and pressing on when I don't see anything going on with volunteers or nothing's going on where I can even help. I'm thinking, oh geez, how can I help today? And I'm getting all nervous. No, I just held the door for the lady walking in this place. That is the same thing. It can be something small. Start with small, I suggest, because when you really feel in your heart that was the right thing to do, you're going to keep moving forward and doing bigger things. And that's all thankful to our Savior Jesus Christ. He has been the best supporter for me in my house and through Fayette Outreach. And I haven't went public with being a Christian on Fayette Outreach as of yet because I know a lot of people can steer away. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but now is a good time more than ever to say that we are Christian-based and we will pray with you. We want to pray with you, so don't be ashamed, don't be shy. It's something extremely casual. It doesn't have to be anything written routine out of a book. It's just your own thoughts and your own feelings, and we're expressing them to the person that's going to be able to change it all for us. And at that time, if you're willing to move forward, then we know where you can get your extra help from, you know, about maybe getting a Bible, getting some reading material for yourself.
Yeah, so that's definitely good. And so just kindness. It's just a movement rooted in kindness to your neighbor, to your local community. And so, you know, all of us should be able to get behind that. All of us should. We have no excuse if we don't. So just once again, how can we get involved? If we are not already involved with Fayette Outreach, how can we get connected there?
Check us out on Facebook. It's Fayette_Outreach. Also on Instagram, Fayette_Outreach. And a lot of the updates will be on there. Plus, you'll get, if you subscribe to it and follow it, you'll be able to see all of the positive daily things. I usually do it in the morning because that is my go-to time. I have to have my morning routine. Sometimes at private time, even if you only have a few minutes, take those few minutes, pray, read, meditate, scroll through Facebook, and look at positive things, not the negative things on social media, and you will get this boost of energy that comes out of nowhere. And I'm telling you, it's supernatural. You know, as long as you continue to move forward and believe, you will go somewhere and you will do something. And always remember, when you do finally get there, don't put others down. You can lean down and help them.
That's right. Yeah, and that's another thing I do see that I've noticed just being friends with you on Facebook is just as, you know, if someone is down and out or having a problem or needs prayer, you're the first one to say, hey, I'm pulling for you, like I'm on your side, like I'm for you. And that is so important. Like so many times we scroll through like, oh, they need something, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to help, maybe they don't even care.
Or I'll just like it. They'll know I care if I just like their post that their child is sick, or they carry migraine headaches with them, or, you know, maybe they lost their job. You don't just like that. You comment, or even better, private message, express your feelings. If you have the time, go to that person and volunteer your efforts of trying to make them better, and you will feel better when you're all finished as well.
Right. Okay. So any other tips for us, or ideas to inspire anyone?
You know what? Just spread kindness. So, like I said earlier about pay it forward, you know, when you do it, they do it. It's like law of love.
It's infectious.
Yes,
it is.
It's contagious. I think my Facebook post earlier today was smile, it's contagious.
And it is.
I seen a stranger on the street the other day, and actually he was kind of scary looking.
Oh dear.
I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to walk with my head down or pretend I'm I'm on my phone texting someone and when my phone's not even on. So, you know what, I reached up, held my head up high, put my shoulders back, and said, "Hi, how you doing?" He said hi, and he walked on. It was that simple. So keep remembering to do the small things and pass on the kindness.
This is great. This is great. So thank you, Brandie. So this girl is all about building the community in simple, small ways that we can all do every single day. And that's all something we can all support and get behind, and we should, for our sake, for Fayette County's sake, right? And so I'm honored and excited to feature Brandie and talk with her today about how to be a catalyst for positive change in Fayette County. And we need so many more people like you. We really do. So thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope this was